Hello everybody, my name is Crazy Dracula, my pronouns are they, them, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm not a Roblox channel by any means, but I do like Royale High and I've actually been playing it since I was a kid. And there was a time in my life where I held the absolute biggest grudge against Royale High, so I haven't played it in a while and I just now picked it back up because of the new Title Glow update. And so far, I'm kinda loving it. They've done a lot better with their prices in sets recently, which thank God, because that's another problem I had with this game, is the fact that everything was way too expensive and the game used to be not as beginner friendly, but luckily they've fixed that issue, at least in my eyes, but I know other people have different opinions. But this video isn't about the game itself, it's actually about its merchandise. If you didn't know, Royale High collaborated with Jazzwares to make Royale High merchandise, more specifically fashion dolls. Now, I want to emphasize something. Please don't support Jazzwares. They have been known to be very supportive of Israel, and if you're wondering why that's a problem, it is because Israel has been basically performing a genocide on the Palestinian people for basically years. And you know, that's not a good thing. So I'd much prefer if you bought these dolls secondhand. And yes, that would potentially mean from a scalper, but it's better to support a scalper than to, like, support a genocide. So this is the one time where I'm saying that you morally should probably support the scalper in this case. Which is like the only time that I will ever say that. In other situations, I would say definitely don't support the scalper. Because of this, I'm going to be leaving the link to Arab.org in the description. On Arab.org, you can donate simply by clicking, and by clicking, they will donate for you. You don't have to spend a dime, and by doing that, you will be helping families in Palestine. And it isn't just for Palestine, it's for women, children, refugees, the environment. By doing your daily clicks, you're making a big difference in people's lives. Anyways, back to the main topic of today's video. Since they have made fashion dolls, I wanted to talk about them, and I've been wanting to look into these dolls for a while, but because I've been so out of the loop with Royale High for the past couple years, I haven't really had the chance to up until now. And since I am a doll channel, I thought now would be the perfect opportunity. For this video, I'm mainly just going to be discussing the dolls that are on the bigger scale, the ones with the brushable hair, and not the mini ones, because I feel like there's way too many of the mini releases to actually cover them all in this video. I'll cover a couple of them, but I'll mainly be looking at the bigger scale fashion dolls today. For our first doll, I want to go ahead and cover the special edition Valkyrie doll. Valkyrie is Royale High's mascot and was introduced with the introduction of Campus 3. Valkyrie obviously is a Valkyrie, and in the most simplest and modern terms, Valkyries are basically just warrior princesses, as they are daughters of royalty and literally are warriors. As we can see, she has a sword and shield that she comes with, gold armor, and she's way more modernized and feminized, as we see with her bright pink ponytail and her high heels. Now, what I'm about to bring up, I have a problem with all of the dolls. It isn't just Valkyrie, and I have less of a problem with it on the mini scale dolls because they look arguably better in that style, but I don't like the Roblox shaped heads on these dolls. She's still cute regardless of the weird head shape, but I feel like a line that does this better is the Dress to Impress line. The Dress to Impress dolls were made by the company Fat Mojo, and are in collaboration with the actual game Dress to Impress on Roblox. You have probably heard of it. If you're not super big into Roblox, it's a super huge Roblox game. They collabed with Wicked for Good, they collabed with Lady Gaga, Charlie XCX, etc. And may I just add, these dolls are gorgeous. I actually really want these dolls, especially the bubblegum gal. She's probably my favorite. But as you can see, these dolls are able to translate the Roblox-shaped face a lot better. I remember being very fearful when these dolls were announced, especially considering the first time a Roblox game has ever actually had fashion dolls was Royale High, because they did do them first. I was nervous that they would have the same uncanny Roblox face syndrome, but instead they pulled it off really well. The Dress to Impress dolls added depth to the faces and also rounded out more of the chin to make it look more like a natural head shape, and not as blocky as the Roblox faces actually are. Meanwhile, with the Royale High dolls, they are basically just replicas of what are in-game. The faces are flat with no nose, and it's just a flat texture on a blocky head. So that's mainly what makes it more uncanny. But it's not like these dolls look completely ugly. Trust me, I've seen worse fashion dolls than this. They're still relatively cute despite the flat faces. I definitely think that Dress to Impress did it better. Once again, aside from the faces, this doll is actually executed pretty well. She looks almost exactly like her in-game counterpart aside from a few things. But if anything, I think that adds to the design. From stock photos, it seems like she's very good quality, same with the rest of the dolls from this line, but I'm not completely sure again since I don't own these dolls and I refuse to support Jazzwares. But honestly, if I were to buy this doll secondhand, I probably would, not just for her code, but also just because she's generally a very pretty doll. I think I'd rate Valkyrie maybe an 8 out of 10. Next we have Rainbow the Light Fairy. Now, compared to the other dolls I've seen, I think she's kind of plain, but I do like her face-up a lot more than Valkyrie's. I think out of all the dolls from this line, her face-up probably is my favorite, but I'm, again, not really the biggest fan of her outfit. It feels a little bit too simple, and I can already tell from this stock photo that her hair is probably polypropylene, which isn't always a bad thing, but it seems to be a bit of a lower grade polypropylene, and I don't f with that. Overall, she's cute, she's okay. I'd probably give her like a 5 out of 10. Next we have the Ice Fairy doll, and it doesn't look like she has a name, but oh my god, I hate her shoes, and I hate her top. I'm so sorry, and I don't like her wings either. I feel like this doll, like, I get the vision, but I feel like it's just really badly executed, which makes me really sad because her base doll is actually super pretty. Like, without her outfits and accessories, she looks, like, gorgeous. But her outfit just kind of sucks, and I hate how big that crown is. It just looks like one of those, like, play crowns, like, that you would wear during dress-up as a little kid. I really don't f with this design, and I would not buy this doll for her outfit. I would buy her for the base doll because her makeup's super cute. I love her hair, but everything else just sucks. I'm giving her like a 2 out of 10. Next is the Dark Fairy, and she does have a name, I just don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put it on screen. I like her wings. I'm not a super big fan of how they translated her outfit in real life, like on her doll, and I hate the way that they did her hair, which kind of sucks because this is the goth doll of this line, and as a goth person, I always love when there are actual goth dolls with actual goth fashion, but it sucks because a lot of it is just really poorly executed here on this doll. Like, there was an attempt was made, and it sucks. And it also doesn't help that those shoes, the mold for those shoes are beautiful, 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 but none of the details on them are painted. That's something I hate that happens a lot with dolls. They'll have like beautifully detailed shoes, but none of the details are painted. I know that's an issue that some of the more budget dolls in J3 Monster High suffer from. I hate that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to fashion dolls, is having the shoes not be painted. That sucks. I also just hate the silhouette she has. Like, all the items that are like on her, you can actually get in game with her code. They look so much better in game than on this doll. I'm very disappointed with her. Like, her design generally in 2D and in game looks so much better, but she doesn't look good, like, executed as a doll. I don't like her. I'm gonna give her also a 2 out of 10, which really sucks. Here's my absolute favorite doll from the Royale High line. This is Posy the Nature Fairy. Isn't she f***ing adorable? She has like the best design. Her dress is so adorable. I love her makeup and her hair. I'm not a big fan of her tiara, considering it's a lighter green than the rest of the green in her outfit, so it kind of really doesn't match. Her wings are okay. I don't really get the vision behind them. I feel like it would make more sense for them to be like flower petals to match her dress, but whatever. Go off, I guess. But she's probably my favorite out of all of the Royale High dolls. She's so cute. I love her a lot. I have to give her a 9 out of 10. Next we have Amberlynn the Fire Fairy, and another one of my favorites. She is gorgeous. I love her tiara. Her wings are probably the best that I've seen out of the Royale High dolls. Absolutely gorgeous. I love her outfit. I kind of hate her shoes, but aside from that, I love her. And I also love the blue accents in her hair to symbolize like blue fire. Like, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. She has to be another one of my favorites. Like, she's like almost tying with Posey, so I'd say she's like second place. So I'm gonna say that she's an 8 out of 10. Next we have Demi the Ice Fairy, and she's very similar to the Ice Fairy that we already looked at. I like her makeup a lot more and her wings a lot more. She has the same, almost the exact same outfit as the other Ice Fairy, so I don't really like her either. Again, her base doll's beautiful. I like her wings a lot more than the first one. Same with her makeup, but it's the outfit. I really don't like what they're doing with the Ice Fairies here, especially since, again, this is just the exact same outfit with just different wings and different colors. So, like, 1 out of 10 considering this is a reused outfit. Next, we have this water fairy who doesn't really look like she has a name. I can't find a name for her. She is very pretty. I do like her outfit. Not a big fan of her wings. Not really a big fan of her makeup. I do love her tiara. Her shoes are a little bit fugly, but they're not the worst thing I've ever seen. I feel like her bright pink hair is a little bit too out of place here. I feel like maybe they should have went for like a purple, or at least give her purple highlights to balance out the pink. But she's okay. I'd give her like a 6 out of 10. Now, those are all of the bigger scale brushable dolls. I'm going to cover a couple of my favorite smaller dolls, but I won't be covering all of them because I feel like there's just a little bit too many. I'm really loving this dark fairy fashion set, mainly because they're going with red and black instead of the usual purple, blue, and black, which is what they usually do in Royale High, so it's a nice change. I also think her makeup is pretty cute, and that the fashion item she comes with is really cute as well. So I'd give her like a 9 out of 10. There's also an ice fairy in this line that I think out of all the ice fairies I've seen looking up these dolls, she has to be probably my favorite design. I really love her white hair and her second outfit, and especially her big ice wings. I love them a lot, and I also just love her makeup. So I'd say she's also a 9 out of 10. We're still in the same line that has the two outfits, but I really like the nature fairy from this line as well. Her wings are absolutely gorgeous, and I love the second hair that she comes with. I'm not the biggest fan of her items, like her two outfits that she comes with, but she's still super cute, so I'd give her a 7 out of 10. I really love this dark mystic mermaid, especially because she reminds me of Princess Luna from My Little Pony. I don't like the neon green hair she comes with, though. I'm not really a big fan of that, but I do love the details on her mermaid tail. I think it's very, very beautiful. I'd give her a 7 out of 10. I also really love the Fire Mermaid doll. I like how instead of going for red that they went with like pinks and purples and oranges, because honestly, super underrated colors, and it makes her look like a sunset. I really love her. I love her second outfit with the mermaid tail, and I love her wings that she comes with. I'm not a big fan of the braids that she comes with. I like her default hair that they have in the packaging, but I'd say that she's like an 8 out of 10. Next, I'm going to be talking about this powder room playset, and it comes with this really cute goth chick. She is adorable, and so is this playset. I don't like how some of the details on the playset isn't painted. That's like, again, one of my biggest gripes when there's details on the plastic but they're not painted. But aside from that, she's super cute, and also the playset is super cute. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Then there's the art class playset. I feel like the playset itself is pretty basic. I do like how it comes with the chest from the game, but I'm mainly gonna focus on the doll here because she is super, super cute. Her outfit's a bit simple, but her base doll is super, super, super cute. I actually kind of really want her. She's adorable, and I love her little, like, paint headband, and I like the little paint accessories in her hair, and I like how she has paint on her face. She's super duper cute! So I'd give this set, like, retract points for the fact that the set is kind of boring, but, like, also points for the fact that the doll is really cute, so probably, like, another 7 out of 10. And lastly, I'm gonna talk about another cute goth chick, this dark fairy. I love the skirt in her second outfit. The wings are super pretty. I don't really like the second hair that she comes with, but I do love those platform boots, and her makeup is also adorable. So I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10, mainly because I'm biased, but also because she's just generally kind of awesome. Anywho, those are my thoughts on some of the Royale High fashion dolls. Of course, that's not all of them. I recommend checking them out on Dollect, mainly because a lot of them are super cute, but remember, if you are planning on buying these dolls, I recommend doing it secondhand so that you don't support the genocide that's going on in Palestine. And if you want to help, again, head to arab.org to do your daily clicks. It could literally save a life. Once again, link in the description to arab.org, and also link in the description to the Royale High wiki page, because I could have sworn that the Royale High dolls had a, like, section in the Dollect database, but I was wrong, so link in the description to the Wikipedia. The online encyclopedia then. Thank you guys so much for watching, and tell me if you want me to do more videos about Royale High, or maybe if you want me to do a video ranking the Dress to Impress dolls, let me know and I will do that. Again, thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Bye!